Hi guys, it's Cindy Lietz, your polymer clay tutor. In today's PCT product demo, I'm going to show you some silicone molds from bargainrollback.com. Now, a little while ago, I was contacted by bargainrollback.com to see if I wanted to test some of their silicone molds, and I said sure, so I checked them out, and I've picked out a few different patterns. Now, I'll show you the patterns and then I'll talk about the different types of silicone molds that they have and how I use them. So this is a cute little, this is a silicone mold, and this one is of little Lego people. This one here is also a silicone mold, and it has quite deep cavities, and it's got like a ladybug, a star, butterfly, hearts, flowers, that kind of thing. This one here is also silicone, and the reason why I keep bringing that up is because some of them are silicone and rubber. But this one's also silicone, and it's got some butterflies and different things in there. This one's also silicone, and this one's a little smaller, about the size of a Christmas chocolates, that kind of thing. It's all little Christmas patterns. And then these two molds here are called Silicone and Rubber, and in brackets they have TPR. I forgot to ask what TPR actually stood for. I'm guessing it's the type of rubber that it is. Now, they also have one more design that I didn't get, and it is silicone and plastic combination. Now, the reason why this is really important to know about, and this will be important to know about any of the silicone molds or any kinds of molds that you get out in the internet and out in the world or wherever you're getting them. There are different types and they can do different things. Now, these silicone only molds can actually handle heat. So that means that you can actually put your polymer clay into these or liquid polymer clay into them, and you can bake them in the oven. The ones that have silicone and rubber in them, they are not heat safe, so they cannot go in the oven. So if you were going to use this for anything polymer clay related, you would need to mold it first and then remove it from the mold before you baked it. These ones are better suited for something like ice, and that's what, or chocolates or some sort of food thing like a jelly. These are all food safe, and I actually made the ice cubes. They're very cute. Okay, so they're starting to melt fast because it's quite warm in here, but the blue mold there is a Titanic mold, so it's got the Titanic and a little iceberg, which is really cute. So in your glass, but I tried to put it in a glass to show you, and it started melting too fast. Then the pirate one has like a skull and crossbones, and a pirate. It's really cute. So it makes for super cute ice, those molds. I found that they didn't mold polymer clay very well because they're a little too floppy. They're different than some of the other polymer clay molds that are meant for putting clay into. They're more supported at the back. So here, when you try to press items into, especially such a deep form, it gets a little distorted. It's hard to pull it out without distorting it, and it uses up a lot of clay to try to do something in these molds anyways. So they're not the best really for polymer clay, but all of these ones here are great for polymer clay. I found that, okay, so I have a few little samples here, some stuff that I baked in some of the molds. In these super deep ones, they're not really that suited for molding soft or clay, like the solid clay. I did take a small amount and press it in. So if you take, I mean, who really wants like a half an inch thick boot out of polymer clay? But a smaller boot you might want to use. So I just took a small amount and pressed it in to the mold. It's a little tricky to get in there, and because it's floppy, you have to kind of reshape it after, because it wants to bulge out the sides. But it is possible to get this little mold out of it with the solid clay. But with the liquid clay, there's a lot more options that you can do. I have a few. Oh, here, for example, in the same mold is a snowman mold. And, oh, actually, I just did that one in resin. But I poured some UV resin into the snowman mold, just a little bit of it. I didn't pour it very deep. And I got this cute little snowman that I could use for a charm, some sort of scrapbooking embellishment, some sort of thing like that. With the UV resin, you want to make sure that light can get all the way through, so you don't want to add anything to the, like glitter or anything to the UV resin when you're putting it in a mold like this. Otherwise, the light can't get in there to cure it. But you can do the clear stuff really well that way. So I also took this mold here and I put some liquid polymer clay in them, and I'm going to show you the samples here and tell you how I did it in a sec. So I've got these little Lego guys that I did using liquid gold, the liquid Sculpey, and I just talked about this in a previous video. And I also used the silver on this guy here of the liquid Sculpey. And then for this guy, what I did was I took some TLS, or translucent liquid Sculpey, so the regular kind, the clear kind, or semi-clear translucent kind, and I put a very thin layer in the bottom first. Then I sprinkled in some eyelash glitter, the silvery eyelash glitter, and then kind of mixed it together and added some more liquid polymer clay until I got it, you know, a reasonable depth in there, and got this kind of semi-translucent sparkly robot kind of thing going on. I think you could do some very, very fun things. I just took a quick playing around with it. Now, whenever you use something like a liquid polymer clay in a mold, I'm finding that you can get a lot of bubbles in it if you're not careful. And one of the tips I had read about was to put your mold in the oven first to mold it, to warm it up. Sorry, not to mold it. To warm it up first, and then when you add your clay to it, it will help prevent bubbles. I did that, but really, really quickly it started to cool off. So the gold one was done in a really warm mold, and the silver one was in a cool one. And there really isn't much of a difference, though I do see the odd little bubble on the silver one that doesn't seem to be as much on the gold. So I think I'll have to play with that more to see if it makes any difference at all. As far as pricing goes, these molds are really inexpensive. I guess that's why they're called Bargain Rollback. But the silicone molds here, the ones that are heat safe, are like $4.49 American at today's prices. The silicone and rubber, which are not heat safe, there's a bunch of different designs, by the way. These ones are $2.99. And then the silicone and plastic ones that I didn't talk about, they're like $3.49. Those silicone and plastic ones basically have a hard plastic frame here, and then silicone, the mold part, so you can easily pop them out. They're more suited, they're obviously not heat safe because of the plastic edge, but they're more suited for ice cube trays. As you can imagine, with a floppy thing like this, trying to get it in, I found these a little tricky. You had water in it and tried to put it in the freezer, and they do spill a little bit. So if you set them in a little tray first, then put the water in, and then in the freezer, then you're going to have less spillage. But that's what those plastic and silicone ice trays are more suited for, because they have the rigid form. But anyways, there are some really, really cute designs. As you can see, you could use them in a bunch of creative ways. Just make sure you're using only heat-safe ones if you plan to put them in the oven. All right, so I hope that was helpful for you. And if it was, do let us know if you like this video. And if you've got a product you'd like us to test, or some ideas that you really don't understand about polymer clay and you'd like us to do a video on it, please leave your suggestions in the comment section below. And we have done tons and tons and tons of videos, so make sure to check through there and do a good search and see if there is the answer to your polymer clay question. All right, we'll see you next time, and bye for now.